am your host, Kimberly Barrett. Welcome to the Sharing Love and Light Show, Vibration and Consciousness on the Planet. I am a psychic medium, quantum energy healer, and intuitive coach here to help you experience light and love. On this show, I will help you tap into your personal power and shift your energy so you can step into your life's purpose and manifest your dreams. I believe that love is not a verb, it is a state of being. Stay with me for the next hour and unlock the quantum energy gifts that are already in you. You're listening to the Sharing Love and Light Show starting now. Hello, beautiful lights. My name is Kimberly Barrett. I'm so grateful to be here tonight hosting the Sharing Love and Light Show, Consciousness and Vibration on the Planet. We are currently on Facebook Live right now. So if you are on Facebook Live, please feel free to type in a comment to let me know that you were here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will also post this on YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube and you would like, please give us a like and a subscribe, even leave a comment regarding the content if you would like. So I am here every first and third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I come on here sometimes with, really fun topics that I basically am a psychic medium, and I pause and I ask my sort of like my spirit, my guides, my higher self, what do you want me to talk about tonight? Last time was manifesting. And as I have been really re-upping using the manifestation techniques and really going back to a lot of the Abraham Hicks, I noticed the places where in the past and even today, I can get stuck when we get to the part where we need to allow. So I thought I would share some helpful tips about getting into a state of allowing, some things that we can do. So welcome to all of you beautiful lights out there who are listening right now. You are listening to the Sharing Love and Light Show on Transformation Talk Radio. So let's get into this topic tonight. I am so excited. I know we were talking manifestation on the last Sharing Love and Light Show episode, like I said earlier. And I started thinking how many of us struggle with getting what we are asking for to actually come into manifest. So in the Abraham Hicks book, Ask and It Is Forgiven, it's basically like we ask for what we want, and then it's automatically put in what they call kind of like our vortex. So it's like energetically there waiting to come in. And a lot of us are like, how come it's not coming in? Right? And there's a number of reasons. We're not going to get into a lot of them because I really want to talk about, this is something that a friend of mine gave me. It's a coaching technique, and it was given to her when she was in a position where she hadn't worked in over a year. I think it was approaching maybe even 2 years. And this was sort of the formula she was giving that helped her really get in that state of allowing to allow in the job that she had been asking for and some of the financial security she was seeking. So I also got stuck in many areas of my life. And I was talking to her one day and she said, I was given this formula and I think it's a really good thing for you to follow. So I'm going to share that with all of you tonight. If you're looking to manifest in your life or you're just interested in listening, this should be really fun. And stay till the end because, the third step in this, the step 3 is really like one of the most important ones. So we talked about manifesting. You ask, it's put into your energy, it's waiting to come in. And that part of manifesting is where we as humans need to let go and allow it to come in. Well, there's some difficulties with that. Part of it is that a lot of times we're focusing on how it is right now, that we're focused on, right? If we've asked for a relationship and we don't see it yet, or we're disappointed because maybe the person we thought it was going to be isn't, and things like that. It's the same thing with money, well, I'm not seeing it in my bank account, and Abraham Hicks is like, it doesn't matter if you see it there or not, it's energetically waiting to come in. And what I need to do is get in a state of alignment and allowing that to come in. So I want to release all of the resistance in me that gets in the way. So one of the things that, so the 3 steps, that's where I'm going with this. The 3 steps, number 1 is take care of yourself fiercely. So it's getting yourself off of that topic. You almost want to just leave it alone, particularly for this moment, for that day, whatever it is, maybe even for a week or a month. Leave the topic alone and take care of yourself fiercely. The second step that was given to me, number 2, is to have as much fun as possible. So finding ways to really raise your vibration, to just have as much fun in life as possible. And I'll share some stories with you where this was super helpful to me in many different ways in my manifesting. And so number 3 is, I think, the most important one and the toughest one for a lot of us, which is the making peace with where I am right now. And we'll talk about sort of the ways we can get trapped and we're really not in that kind of peace and satisfaction and acceptance with how things are, so that we can, really move into that vibration that allows what we really want in, right? It's almost like we're too much focusing on what's not in our lives rather than appreciating what is, and finding ways to even just enjoy ourselves anyway. So let's start with number 1, take care of yourself fiercely. I don't know about you all, that one can be a challenge for me, especially if the finances aren't going the way that I think they need to go, or, there's a lot of negativity around me, whatever it is that's going on. I was working, I wanted to manifest a different career, a different job, and I was working on a psychiatric unit, and it was very, very draining, pretty negative to me. And I couldn't figure out how to get out. And what I discovered is these 3 steps, and they helped me move out of that and into a much better place. So what I started with was this: take care of yourself fiercely. This means getting the focus back on yourself and really starting to do that self-care. Now, this might be a challenge for some of you. I do talk a lot about how when we forget our worth and we forget that we're enough and those type of things, it's challenging to take care of ourselves. However, the more I take care of myself, the better I feel. So going for walks, getting outside, eating healthy, finding ways, dialectical behavioral therapy talks about self-soothing, listening to songs that you really like, doing, 1 positive event a day, hanging with friends, anything that is going to help me feel better, anything that's going to give me well-being. And so that is that number 1 step, is to really start to take care of yourself fiercely. I see that for me personally is really making sure that I'm drinking water, that I'm doing some type of movement and exercise to really take care of the physical body. It's also taking care of the mental body, that if there's things I need to address, I am known to, get a life coach or a health coach. I'm known to go see that therapist, right? To go see energy healers to get things cleared out, to, really take care of myself, work through 12 steps, even to clear out resentments and release fear and get connected in with spirit. So there's just so many things that you all can do to really take care of yourself fiercely. And I love that word that my friend used. She said, it's not just sort of like, okay, I'm going to take care of myself. It's like, you are really going to care about how you feel. And if you study Abraham Hicks on law of attraction, you attract where your energy vibration is. Most of us want certain things in our life because we think we're going to feel good. And Abraham channels through Esther all the time about how we get a little confused as humans because, it's sort of like the cart before the horse. We think that I'll be happy when I get this thing, instead of doing the things that are going to bring happiness to me now. One of those things that I understand is if I'm taking care of the physical, if I'm taking care of the mental, I'm taking care of the spiritual, just doing things to take care of myself, staying in my own hula hoop, right? All of those type of things, just really focusing on that self-care piece and working toward, the self-love and the feeling good in the physical, in the spiritual, in the mental, those type of things. So really taking care of yourself, that puts you in more alignment with that joy and that appreciation and that happiness. So that step one is really really taking care of yourself fiercely so that you can allow good things to come into your life. So we are going to take a short break. We're talking this evening on the Sharing Love and Light show about the 3 steps that are going to help us get more into a state of allowing so that we can really allow in that life of our dreams. We just went over step 1, taking care of ourselves fiercely. We're going to take a short break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about step 2. Welcome back. You're listening to the Sharing Love and Light show with me, Kimberly Barrett. If you're watching this on Facebook Live or YouTube, please feel free to type in a comment. Let me know you were here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Before we get back to the 3 steps for allowing, I do want to make sure you know how to contact me. I can be reached through my website, sharingloveandlightshow.com. If you would like a free video titled Living an Intuitively Inspired Life, you can visit the link kimberlylbarrett.com/intuitive life. I'm currently offering 20% off coaching, readings, healings, and Blue Star energy activations to all my Sharing Love and Light listeners. Use the code 20%, so 20%. All right, let's get back to this topic. I'm just so loving this. It's right on time in my life. So we talked about step 1. Let's take care of ourselves fiercely. Let's move into step 2. And being a Gemini and being someone with huge energy like I am, this one is actually my favorite. And yet I understand for some of us out there how difficult this can be when we feel disappointed or we feel like we're blocked or, we're kind of slipping into a depression or something like that. And, first it's take care of ourselves. It's also, we need to find ways to have as much fun as possible. So I was talking about, I'm on the psych unit it is a challenging job, very, very busy, very, very stressful. I could get pretty burnt out by the end of the day. And what I would do is I would find ways to really like have fun before I left the house. And then when I got there, I would find ways to have fun while I was working. And one time, my clients were doing it with me, and it actually helped them feel better, so we were singing different tunes and they were all laughing because it reminded them, I can't remember the movie, but it was sort of like the movie where the guy was singing, I love myself, and it'll come to me at some point maybe. But we were all like doing this like really fun stuff. I would talk about like smiling for 20 minutes, just finding any way to have fun. There's other times when I was in Arizona and I was completely broke and I couldn't, I hadn't quite gotten it took me a year to get my LCSW license. And I had someone that was helping me to pay rent at the time. And yet, I really wanted to manifest better when it came to finances and when it came to security. And yet the topic was so challenging for me because it's really, really challenging to look at your bank account and it's like tanked out and you have people calling you because, you owe them money and things like that. So what I would do is try to have as much fun as possible in my life while I was taking right actions and taking care of myself. So having fun were things like, we lived in an apartment complex that had a hot tub. So we would go sit in the hot tub and just enjoy ourselves. Or I would go for a walk, or I would, one of my favorite things, play with someone else's kids, because I really enjoy getting on a kid's level. They're so like fully present in the moment and really like they can go into fun fantasies and things like that. So just finding any way possible to have fun. I would go hang out with friends for, they would have dinners at their house. And instead of staying in the negativity, I would find ways to have fun. And that included like just turning music on and dancing around the house while I'm cleaning the house, listening to my favorite song, watching really funny movies. It was like anything I could do to get myself in a place where I'm feeling better, and not a fake feeling better, just really working myself incrementally toward having some fun. And it really made a difference. There were things that I could do in Arizona that were free, and I could have fun doing that. There are things in Tennessee that I can do that are free, and I can have fun doing that. It's really like making a decision, even if it's just getting a kid's coloring book and crayons and being fully present coloring, blowing bubbles. I have cats. So when my little one was a kitten, it was really fun to blow bubbles and watch the kitten, play with the bubbles. So it's really like having just fun in whatever you're doing. And this has been something that I've had to learn how to implement for a really long time. When I first started to turn my life around, I shared with you all that I had hit such a hard bottom. I really didn't know if I could ever be happy. I didn't know if I could get this thing and shift things. I was very, very depressed. And one of the things that I was taught was to take the actions anyway, to I guess she said, to me, it doesn't matter what you think or how you feel, you do it anyway. And it's a way out of depression as well. If any of you have gotten caught in that spin cycle of depression, it's to take action. I might not be able to change my mind. I can go take action and start to break out of that depression. And so, really, if I want to be in alignment with something that would feel good, so money and prosperity and abundance really feels like higher level feelings like joy, freedom, appreciation, trust. So I need to do things that really resonate with that type of feeling. So maybe hang out with someone that I really trust and feel that trust and enjoy that trust. Or develop a relationship with the therapist that can help me tap into trust, right? Do things that help me feel free, feel like I have some freedom in my life. Be creative in that way. Finding ways to just have fun, hang out with your friends, do things that are gonna lead you to feeling better. And when I was newer at this, this is the people that were helping me, they would have me buy a joke book and like call people and tell them jokes so that it could shift my mood to get in alignment with something that is gonna feel better. So part of it is to, that art of allowing that state of alignment. If I've asked for something that I know would really feel good, then how about just choosing to be happy now, no matter what's going on around me, is to find a way to be happy anyway. And I've done that so many times. It's like, the relationship didn't work out, and yet I could still find ways to feel happy, to love myself, to, go do some fun stuff with friends, to write a lot of gratitude lists and practice having fun with looking for things that I appreciate in my life and I appreciate about myself, and appreciate the lessons that I learned in whatever's going on. So that step 2 is really around just having fun, and as much fun as you can possibly create. I feel pretty blessed in my life today because I went from this, like, really, I would say even 5 years ago when I was in Arizona and I was struggling to get a job and I wasn't quite where I wanted to be. And I started to really just start doing things that just were fun to me. It didn't matter what it was. I keep thinking even fun and happiness can just be a state of mind. So just making the decision, right? I keep thinking of the 3rd step in the 12-step programs that you make a decision that you're gonna do it a different way, and make that decision that, it doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I am gonna do something that feels good to me and have some fun. And that it doesn't matter. And I keep thinking, I talked about in the first episode of the Sharing Love and Light show about Viktor Frankl, and he was in concentration camp, and he really knew how to, inside of himself, still find joy, even if he was in the concentration camp. He made a decision that no one can take that away from me. And then when he got out of concentration camp, he really taught self-actualization. So I keep thinking that whatever's fun for you, I'm thinking about a few friends of mine that are different than me. That my one friend, she really loves heavy metal and punk and, really angry music and stuff like that. But for her, that's really fun, And it's what makes you feel like it's fun. For me, it's puppy dogs and rainbows and kitty cats and, ooey gooey happy stuff. That's Kimberly. Fun for me. Where I have another friend that, she has a lot of fun building things and working with electronics. And that's her way of having fun. So find what works for you. Find what's going to make your heart sing and do it. So number 2 is, no matter what's going on in your life, that thing that you've asked for isn't coming. Well, get your thoughts off of it because what you want to do is bring yourself in alignment with your well-being and your joy. And that's what's going to attract the life that you're looking for. So step one is like, take care of yourself fiercely. Step two is to really like make a decision to have as much fun as possible. I even, when I was in California, listen to me, Arizona, it was very close to California. When I was in Arizona, I got this book that was like this law of attraction calendar. And it had this list of like, things you can do today to make yourself feel good. One of them was that thing that I've talked about before on the show, is send 5 people a text and tell each of them 5 things you love about them. That can be so fun when you do that. You can make plans to hang out with people and create whatever it is that you want. You can, just pet a cat or play with your dog or go for a walk outside and listen to nature. There's just so much stuff. And I really, really believe that it's shifting my attitude to on purpose. And I had a client in the intensive outpatient program when I was teaching the dialectical behavioral therapy at the Middle Path. And the client said that she finally got it, that she was on purposely feeling happy, and that she would find herself spiral, and then she would put the stop sign up and shift, whether it was to go have fun and do something, or it was to literally like change her mind, that her happiness wasn't dependent on things outside of herself, that she could choose to be happy in that moment. And she also stopped giving her power away. So, when I did these things, every single time I have done these 3 steps to the T, like just really followed them consciously. I don't do it perfectly. You guys know that I am like perfectly imperfect. Let yourself off the hook. Yet I practice taking care of myself fiercely, having as much fun as possible. And things started to unfold, and they started to come in, and my life really shifted. And then look at me now, right? Is what I tell myself. I love to do the comparison of what it was like 24 years ago and what it's like today, even what it was like 5 years ago and what it's like today. So we've talked about steps 1 and 2. We are going to get to the most important one for many of us, the most difficult one, when we get back from our break. So we are going to take another short break. When we return, we'll talk more about these 3 steps. See you soon. Welcome back. You're listening to the Sharing Love and Light show with me, Kimberly Barrett. If you're watching this on Facebook Live or YouTube, feel free to type in a comment. Let me know that you were here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Before we get back to the 3 steps for allowing, I do want to make sure you know how to contact me. I can be reached through my website, sharingloveandlightshow.com. If you would like a free video titled Living an Intuitively Inspired Life, you can visit the link kimberlylbarrett.com/intuitive life. I'm also currently offering 20% off coaching, readings, healings, and Blue Star energy activations to all of my Sharing Love and Light listeners. Use the code 20%, 20PERCENT. So we've talked about steps 1 and 2. Let's get into what I believe is the most important one. And for most of us, I don't know about you all, but for me, talk about my personal experience and what my friend said to me when she shared it with me, the most difficult one, right? And that is, I need to make peace with where I am. Now, how hard is that sometimes, you all? I had the $5 in my bank account, the creditors, nipping at my heels, and I was told to make peace with where I am, or when I'm single and I really wish I were in a partnership and I'm being told, make peace with where I am. And especially when it's like the one you thought was going to work didn't. And you need to make peace with where you are in order to bring in what you've asked for. It's there. And, I haven't talked about it much here, but there are, divine feminine energy coaches for women. If you're a woman out there and you've been struggling, it could be the energy that you're in. You might be going into your masculine energy. So just FYI. So back to topic, make peace with where you are. This is a tough one sometimes. I can really fall into complaining. I can get into victim mode. I can fall into resentment. There's just a lot of stuff. I remember listening to Wayne Dyer back in the day, and he was a master manifester. He really lived the life of his dreams and shared with a lot of people and would talk a lot about how to manifest and how to get in alignment and those type of things. And he was talking one time about how resentment, refeeling the anger, right? Refeeling those negative things can really stand in the way of your manifesting whatever it is that you asked for in your life. And I know that in Shakti Gawaine's book, I had talked about her, that creative visualization. One of the techniques is to clean out your resentments. Well, when I'm resenting, right, resentiment, I'm refeeling the negative. I'm refeeling the past hurt or whatever it is. I am definitely not at peace with where I am when I'm in resentment. There is no way. Right? It's really like shutting all that down and bringing in that negativity. The other thing is when I'm really overly focused on how it is, I'm complaining about it, I'm noticing it, I'm obsessed over it. I keep checking my bank account, whatever it is that I am just not at peace with where I am. I remember before I met my last partner, one person didn't work out and I was kind of devastated. I'm not going to lie, right? I'm one of those, slightly dramatic people. Just kidding. I really had my heart set on this one particular person, only to find out that inside of me, I'm emotionally unavailable. So I was not ready yet. And what that means is I was very attracted to this emotionally unavailable man, and it didn't work out. Well, I had to make peace with being single. I had to make peace with it not working out. I had to make peace with where I was in the moment. And what happened was I was given this formula where I was taking care of myself fiercely. I was having as much fun as possible. And I started to make peace with being single. And I made peace and felt satisfied with my life just as it is, and just started really enjoying my life. And boom, this guy stepped in and he stepped forward. He was in it, and it was everything I had asked for in that moment. Right. And that played itself out beautifully, just the way it was supposed to, that relationship. So it was like I got everything I had asked for. I needed to make peace with where I was when it doesn't look like it's going the way that I want it to. One of the things I talk about in coaching is, Abraham Hicks talks about sometimes you can't go from a negative place to a really positive place. There's just too much. You can't be in that negative vibration about it and just jump to positive. So when I'm saying those positive affirmations, it's not vibing. I'm not buying into it. So it's really just more resistance when I do that. So one of the things I practice is making peace with where I am, in the sense of, even though it doesn't look like it's working out for me, I know that it is. I know that it will eventually. I know that it is working out for me. I know it's in my vortex energetically, and that I just need to get into a place in my own self in alignment and in feeling that joy and that peace and those type of things. And what I discovered is I really have to look at acceptance and radical acceptance and really just making peace with my life where it is in this moment. So on that psych unit, I finally made a decision that I was no longer going to be like frustrated and upset and mad at where I was. I learned to make peace with the present moment. That doesn't mean I like it. It means I found my center and found peace within me, within myself. It doesn't mean that I'm happy about the outsides, right? It means that I'm finding the peace within me. And the more I found that peace within me and made peace with how things were, then the answers started coming and the synchronicities started happening and things started showing up and things started flowing and the momentum started building, and then the manifestations would happen. When I'm not at peace with where I am in so much resistance in my life. Massive resistance. I'm exhausted all the time. I'm fatigued. I'm not accepting things. It's like I'm fighting with everything and everyone around me. So really, like, step 3 is that big practice of like surrender, make peace with where you are. You know, when there's other people negative around you, it's not my circus, not my monkey. You know, it doesn't matter how other people are acting or what's going on around you. It is about your inner alignment, your peace. And I know in dialectical behavioral therapy, we talk a lot about, you know, I need to get to a place where I'm in that dialectic is like when two opposing forces are there at the same time. So I need to accept everything 100% exactly as it is. And at the same time, allow and work toward that change. So in order to do that, I need to really release fear, release the resentment, practice making peace with wherever it is that I am in the moment. And honestly, you all, I need to do this right now in a few areas of my life where I need to make peace with this is where I am right now. When I was living in Baltimore and I wanted to be down south, I made peace with being in Baltimore. You know, when I was working at that psych unit, I made peace with where I was in the moment and then used the other two to get myself in alignment for what I want. So it is time for another short break. When we return, we will wrap up what we've been talking about with really using these 3 steps to get in more alignment with who we really are and, you know, lining up with what we really want in our lives to allow that to come in. So we are going to go on a short break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, beautiful lights. You're listening to the Sharing Love and Light Show with me, Kimberly Barrett. Again, if you're watching this on Facebook Live or YouTube, feel free to type in a comment to let me know you were here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Before we get back to the 3 steps for allowing, I do want to make sure you know how to contact me. I can be reached through my website, sharingloveandlightshow.com. If you would like a free video titled Living an Intuitively Inspired Life, you can visit the link kimberlylbarrett.com/intuitive life. I'm currently offering 20% off all coaching, readings, healings, and Blue Star energy activations to all my Sharing Love and Light listeners. There is a link on the website, sharingloveandlightshow.com, that will take you to my Acuity page to schedule with me. you can use the code 20%. So let's review what we've gone over so far. I know I was talking before about manifestation, and that is, there's something that I want to have in my life, or a feeling that I want my life to be like. I'm asking for something. I want my life to be a little different, and I'm asking for that. Maybe I've looked into my contrast that I'm currently in, and I want the opposite of my contrast, and that is automatically put into my energy vortex. So that next step is allowing. And let me tell you, that is easier said than done a lot of times, to really get in that trust place, to really allow. So in review, I'm offering 3 steps that were given to me that help us with getting in that alignment with what we want, and really allowing it to come in, at least like really getting our vibration in such a better place, right? So number 1 is really taking care of yourself fiercely. So recently I've had to look at, how am I doing with taking care of the physical? Maybe I can start to incrementally work toward, adding a 5-minute dance around the house, or maybe do some yoga, eat a little better, drink more water, whatever it is, to start to take care of myself physically. There's also mentally, what do I need to do to take care of myself a little bit more mentally? Maybe practice mindfulness a little bit more often, or, do meditations, or go see a therapist. Whatever it is. I know that Dr. Pat and I were talking about, get that health coach and get that life coach, and really like start to make those changes in your life. I certainly got a business coach to help me really shift and move toward what I wanted. And I consider that part of taking care of myself. But it's also, really being kind and gentle to yourself, and compassionate toward yourself. Number 2 is that having as much fun as possible. And I was just reminded on break that there's so much we can do. They have karaoke machines now that you can, do karaoke in your house. You can go out to karaoke. My friends got me, not everyone's into this game, but they got me into playing Cards Against Humanity. And that can be really fun. It's just finding whatever works for you, making that time. One of my clients was talking about how, playing with his 3-year-old can be really fun. And then at the same time, it can be exhausting. So he needs to carve out that time to have fun reading that book that really is enjoyable to him, or to, go on a date with his wife without any kids around, so finding ways to just have as much fun as possible in our lives. That can seem really hard when you're working 2 jobs and you have kids at home. So it's really being creative and really asking for help, and finding ways to, how can you have fun when you're with your kids? How can you have fun? I have a friend that, she has fun when she's doing the dishes. She has fun. You can make anything fun if you choose to. So just have as much fun as possible. And then we were talking about that, make peace with where you are. And I think that's a really important one is, a lot of times I'm so unhappy about how it is, and I'm really focused on how it is. Or maybe I'm even focused on how it was, and I haven't released the past from me yet. We didn't even talk about that piece, that I haven't let go of my past. And I've been looking at that pretty deeply recently, how much of that really challenging childhood have I let go of, so that I can make peace with where I am, so that I can face forward and move forward in my life. And those are the offerings I really have to all of my beautiful love and light listeners tonight is you really can create the life that you want. It's just a matter of finding any small thing to start with. You don't have to go from, feeling really depressed or resentful or angry or whatever it is to super happy all at once. The suggestion is to incrementally work yourself toward it. On this show, we've talked about setting your intention before you fall asleep that you're going to have a good day tomorrow. And then when you wake up in the morning, kind of resetting that intention that it is going to be a good day. And then finding ways to maybe first thing in the morning, start to notice what you can be grateful for. And I understand what it's like to be in severe depressions. And sometimes the only way out of it for me is to start being grateful for like indoor plumbing, or, when I lived on people's couches, I was grateful for the couch and for, having the house that I was living in. There's just so many things. I mean, for me, it was that, I didn't have to do some of those unskillful behaviors, is what we call them, anymore. That I got into a place where I had put in my vortex that I was going to, not harm myself anymore, that it was do no harm. And so the gratitude was, even today, that I haven't engaged in any of those self-harm type of things in my life. So really, like, you can move into having a better life slowly and incrementally over time. Some people, it can happen pretty suddenly. I watched a client that just made the decision that, wow, I'm giving all these people my happiness. I'm going to take my power back and just be happy in my life. And she really started to notice that once she made that decision, she started taking care of herself. Take care of the physical, you'll feel better. Take care of the mental, she would start feeling better. Get enough sleep, have as much fun as possible, make peace with where you currently are, that you can really start to flow into the life of your dreams. The last little note that I'll add in there is, it doesn't have to be the dream of your ego. It doesn't have to be, I need to get these things that will make me feel better. It can be that you just want peace in your life, or you just want to feel love. I want a love-filled life. That's what I've asked for. Or maybe just, feel abundant in all areas of my life. Well, abundance doesn't have to be money. It's abundance that I'm always taken care of, and I'm secure, and I'm loved. So it's whatever it is that's in alignment with your soul, your spirit, and what feels good to you. So we are getting ready to wrap up. Remember that love is not a verb, that it is a state of being. I love that saying, that love is not a verb. It's not, I need you to act this way for me to feel love. It's that love is an energy I can tap into. It's just like happiness. I can just choose to feel that love energy at any time. It's that state of being and a level of consciousness that I can tap into. So we have talked tonight about the 3 steps that help us get into alignment with all we want and allow it to come in. Step 1 is take care of yourself fiercely. Step 2 is have as much fun as possible. Step 3 is make peace with where you currently are. Join me every first and third Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio for sharing love and light, vibration, and consciousness on the planet. I do have a wonderful treat for you the 3rd Tuesday in February. Her name is Susan Dyer, and she is going to be on sharing her love and light with us. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for tuning in to the Sharing Love and Light Show, Vibration and Consciousness on the Planet, with me, Kimberly Barrett. Remember, love is not a verb, it is a state of mind. You've spent the last hour experiencing love and light and tapping into the quantum energy that already exists in you. But the journey doesn't stop here. Tune in every first and third Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio, as we continue exploring the energetic shifts happening in and around us. With love and light, see you next time.